What's good, YouTube? Here to bring you my Gladiator Beast deck that I've been using for the Legend Anthology Academy event. This has always been a personal favorite deck of mine, the Gladiator Beast archetype. I've been using since I was a kid, so I'm glad I get to use it for this event because it's definitely not good enough to play in standard format right now. But before I get into each card, I just want to say that this deck list is definitely not optimized. I'm missing a few cards. I don't want to use like all my resources to really build the optimal deck, especially when there's like no ranked ladder involved with this. So yeah, I'll go over which cards can be replaced. But with that being said, getting into the card by card, we got Effect Veiler starting off. And we run one Effect Veiler only because we only own one. And again, I don't want to craft any more resources for this. But I definitely run Effect Veiler because we want hand traps because my build is going second. I always feel like Gladiator Beasts need to go second. They need their battle phase to activate all their effects. And something to mention is Gladiator Beasts, like how they work is basically after the battle with an opponent's monster, even like direct attack. It's just if they battle in general, at the end of that battle phase, they get to shuffle themselves into the deck and then go into another one. They used to call it tagging. And when they tag out and you bring the new Gladiator Beast monster, you get their effect. And it's just very versatile effect range that you have with this deck. So yeah, we just want to make sure we get to go second, going through like a pretty easy board from the opponent. So that's why we run the Effect Veiler to negate. It's also one of the few hand traps allowed in this event. So yeah. Next, we got Gladiator Beast Murmillo. His effect is just basically when he's tagged in, he gets to destroy one opponent's face-up monster. Face-up monster. So yeah, it's just good versatility for that. Next, we got 3 Test Tigers. It's able to special summon itself. This is actually a good card to either get your Gladiator Beast to tag in without using the battle phase, or it's usually used to combo off with your Test Panther, which we'll get into later when I show the replays, because it just helps get into like your bigger fusion monsters, because that's like the end result of this deck, what it wants. Next, we got the Reteria Gladiator Beast. This effect is just basically you can banish one monster or one card in your opponent's grave. You get to banish one card in your opponent's grave, which is pretty good because actually Dark Magician is actually very present in this event, and I find it to be very helpful to banish the Dark Magician that's always in their graveyard, so they can't summon it off of their Eternal Soul or whatever that continuous trap is called. Next, we got Sagittari. This is basically you discard one Gladiator Beast card and you get to draw 2 cards. If your hand is not too good or it's filled with too many monsters and you're able to tag in, you should definitely go into this card because then maybe you can draw your other cards that can help you combo off. Next, we got the best Gladiator Beast, or one of. Still, it was crazy back in the day, but it's still pretty good now. It just basically allows you to destroy a spell and trap your opponent controls when it tags in. It's also used to go into your fusion for Geyserus, which is still one of like the best Gladiator Beast cards because it can destroy 2 monsters. Next, we got one Laquari. It's just the biggest Gladiator Beast attack monster. Technically, you can use it to go into the Fusion Summon as well, but it's a little too much cost. You kind of want to cheat this out with another Fusion card. But yeah, I still run this only because it has the highest attack, and sometimes that comes up. Next, you got Darius. Darius, it allows you to special summon one Gladiator Beast monster from your graveyard when it's tagged in. This allows you to just combo off again. That's really all you want to use it for, is to go into Test Panther or maybe your other Link plays. Or technically, if you have a Bestiary in the graveyard, you can special summon Geyserus with that. Next, we got Elemental Hero Prisma. This is actually kind of like an old philosophy type of card that they used to run back in the day. And the only reason I run this is because, again, I don't have every single card that I can use to optimize this deck. So I kind of have this as a replacement. The Prisma is still good, though, because it allows you to just copy names. Also, sending your Gladiator Beast cards to the grave is just good because now it allows you to, like, really have, like, that second resource loop that you can do with, like, Darius or, like, the other spell cards are like Monster Reborn and all that to bring them from the graveyard to the field. It's still a little slow, honestly, but it does come up. It's still like one of the better options to really use in a Gladiator Beast deck if you really have nothing else, which is exactly what I have. Next, we got Gladiator Beast Quest. This is a pretty good one too because when it tags in, you get to bring back one of your Gladiator Beast cards from your graveyard to your hand, so it helps you with your resources. And it's not just monsters, it's also the spells and traps, so it's really good if you want to recur your spells and traps like that, because one of the problems with Gladiator Beast is like they always shuffle back into the deck, so you don't have a lot of resource in the graveyard. But when you're able to just like dump your spells and traps, which don't shuffle back into the deck, it's pretty good that you can keep that resource loop going. Next, we got Gladiator Beast Atorix. This is a pretty good, one of the better new Gladiator Beast cards because this basically allows you to copy the name and the level, kind of like Prisma, but only activates when it tags in, and it modulates the level, which is really important when we get to the fusion card, which is basically the Tamer. We always want to run a one of, and you kind of want this in your hand to summon off with your combos with this card, Augustus, and we'll get into that a little bit later. Next, we run 3 Cyber Dragons. So honestly, Cyber Dragons I run only because Cyber Darks are pretty present as well in this festival due to like the structure deck making it accessible. But I really feel like Prankertops is probably the best choice for a replacement for Cyber Dragon. But again, if you don't have the resources, because I have no Dino Wrestler Prankertops, that I just substitute the 3 Cyber Dragons. Honestly, it also depends. Like if you've been seeing a lot of Cyber Dark, you can definitely run the Cyber Dragon because you can easily break their boards with the Chimera Fortress Dragon. So it's still not a bad option. Also helps again why we're going second because that's the only way to get this to special summon. That's one of the problems with Gladiator Beast. It's still too reliant to like normal summons. So you need something a little more to special summon, which is why we also run the 3 Test Tigers and so forth. Next we run the Gladiator Beast Noxious. This is a pretty good card. I know people might not like this card a lot, but it's helpful when you're about to like if your opponent full combos off and then like they're about to attack you for game. This can save you because it special summons from your hand to the field, and it protects you from 1 battle damage from 1 monster who's battling. So it helps with keeping you alive, and on top of that, it kind of gets your resources kind of going because you send 1 Gladiator Beast card from your deck to your grave, which is usually you want to send the monster, and then after the battle phase, it'll shuffle back into the deck and you'll get another Gladiator Beast cards. So it's pretty good when it comes to like advantage and getting like multiple things off. But I could see why some people cut this off. It's still not a bad card though, in my opinion. Next we got the Vespius. This is probably one of the better ones as well, Gladiator Beast cards, because this is kind of like a hand trap when it comes to the battle phase. Special summon when you attack a opponent's monster or an opponent's monster attacks you. You get to special summon this, and it boosts your Gladiator Beast cards by 500. As a matter of fact, I think it's actually all monsters you control gain 500 attack. So yeah, it's pretty good. Helps you survive or get over bigger monsters that your opponent might have. Dark Magician's like 2500. Again, very present in this event. This card will be boosted up to 2800, so it can always get over that Dark Magician. So and it's also used for getting into the fusion monster as well, which occasionally comes up. Again, we usually cheat out the fusion monsters with the Tamer card, but yeah, that's why we run 2 because it's one of the better Gladiator Beast cards, and I actually do own 2 copies, so that is why. Next we run 2 Augustus. This is a very good card for when you want to go into your combo. This is basically your optimized combo of going into 1 Augustus, special summoning another high level Gladiator Beast card. Usually it will be the Torix or it will be the Vespius, and then you can basically go into the Tamer because you need 2 level 5 or higher Gladiator Beast monsters, and that's how you can start cheating out your other fusion monsters. So yeah, this card is like mostly used just to go into full combo, and that's how you know like you got a good board on your hands. Next we run 1 Raigeki. This is pretty standard for this event. It's kind of dumb that they still allowed this, but it's whatever. It's really helpful that we're going second. Again, I feel like even though every deck wants to go first in this event, having the Raigeki still in their decks kind of bricks on them when they're going first. But going second, the Raigeki helps a lot. Same thing with Harpy's Feather Duster. This is for the spells and traps. Next we got 1 Monster Reborn. This is really to just get in. If we don't happen to kill them and they're able to like crack back at us, having the Monster Reborn helps. It also really helps with the Test Tiger because you can use the effect to shuffle and tag in one of the Gladiator Beast monsters, and then you can Test Tiger again to go into another Gladiator Beast card effect. So yeah, Monster Reborn always just been a really good card. Next we got 3 Gladiator Proving Ground. This is really just to have the toolbox available. That's why we try to run at least 1 copy of all Gladiator Beast monsters. Unfortunately, it's only level 4 or lower. I wish it was just any Gladiator Beast monster. That would help significantly, but it's fine with that. You can get to your Bestiari if you already have another Gladiator Beast monster on the field, because you can shuffle in, or if you just need the attack boost, you can just, not attack boost, just need the 1800 attack body, you get Laquari. It's just very versatile. You definitely need it. This is actually the most most optimal, and I'll get into this a little later because they kind of banned Link Spider, so it's really best with the normal Gladiator Beast card, which I'm forgetting the name of, and like having two of this is like full combo on its own. But again, this event bans Link Spider, so that's unfortunate. Next, we got 3 Gladiator Beasts Comeback. This is basically the Monster Reborn of the archetype, but a little better because you can special summon from your hand, and it cannot be destroyed by battle. And that's like permanent. It's not like until the end of the turn. So very good card. The only problem is they kind of got to be careful about. It's only with a different type from the monsters you control. But Gladiator Beast monsters are really diverse with their like typing, so it doesn't really come up that much. The only thing is that I want to say there's kind of a lot of winged beasts because we have Bestiari, Augustus, and Quizit. So yeah, that's the only thing you kind of got to be mindful about. But everything else, it's pretty free to use this. Here's one of the cards that we want to run 3 of, but we just don't have. So I only have 2 of it. So unfortunately, that's the optimal, or that's what I can run. But the optimal way would be to run 3 of this. Fusion Deployment, this you can special summon any Gladiator Beast monster that has the exact name, which usually is with a lot of the old school fusion cards, which Gladiator Beast is still kind of in. I mean, 2008 is crazy how that's considered old school now. But yeah, we still have names on the fusion cards with like Gladiator Beast Geyserus, Heracleonis. This is pretty generic, so you can't get anything off of this. But Augustus, this is like the Augustus fusion summon monster. This is not, and then this is for the Sea Serpent one. So yeah, this is definitely the best card, and it actually combos very nicely into the next card. But before I get into that, I should also mention that this locks you out of other extra deck monsters, so you can't go into your Link, so you can't go into your Test Panther, which is kind of unfortunate because this is really a good card for the archetype. But yeah, if you have this card and you have this next card, it's also full combo where you get to have a really good board. And the next card is Gladiator Rejection. This is a really good card because you cannot have your Gladiator Beast monsters targeted with any card effects, so it protects you from Effect Veiler and Imperm, which is really present in this event. So having that first effect is good enough, but then the second effect, which is when a Gladiator Beast monster is special summoned from the main deck, you get to special summon another Gladiator Beast monster from your deck with a different type in defense position, which kind of comes up because you kind of want to kill your opponent as fast as possible. But just having that the special summon one Gladiator Beast monster is great because now you get to go into either your fusion plays. Again, if you didn't do this off of fusion deployment, you can go into your Test Panther and you start comboing off there. But if you have it with fusion deployment, I mean, you can just like special summon Augustus, and then with rejection, you get to special summon Vespius, and with those 2 cards, you get to go into Tamer, and then Tamer goes into the other fusion monsters, and then you're just set from there. And again, none of these cards get targeted because the first effect protects you from all of that. So yeah, rejection is a really good card. Technically, to optimize it, I would run 1, and then like have another card to like protect you or whatever. That would be if like I was running in standard, but I feel like in this event you just want to have a little more consistency going into your fusion plays because there's not that much interruption anymore in this event with the limited like interruption tools like Effect Veil and Imperm and stuff like that. But yeah, great card. Next we got One Book of Moon. This is just like a generic interruption tool that I had within my card pool. It's not the greatest option. It still kind of comes up pretty helpful. Helps you either survive or like if you have an opponent who has like a ginormous attack, a monster, you can just Book of Moon it, have it in defense, and then have your Gladiator Beast attack it. It won't die because it's in defense. You tag in another monster that helps you get back into the game. You can destroy it with Murmillo, or you can like do other of your cards to really get your plays going off. So yeah, Book of Moon's still not bad. Next we got Gladiator Beast United. This basically is like a quick play polymerization for the archetype, but unfortunately it's only during the battle phase, which can kind of come up. Like if you I only run 1 of it only because like will occasionally come up where you like attack your monsters, you special summon all your Gladiator Beast cards, get like your card the monster sent to the graveyard, and then you could shuffle them in for your Tamer and then help set you up a little bit better. Or even if it's like a really grind game, you need like your Gladiator Beast monsters back in your deck, you shuffle them back into your deck with this card. So yeah, it's not bad. I just wish it wasn't only during the battle phase. Next we got Infinite Impermanence, best hand trap in this event. So yeah, you just gotta run one Solemn Judgment, crazy card in this event as well. I mean, it's always been a crazy card, but with such a limited pool of cards and like a crazy ban list, you definitely need to run this. I mean, negate anything basically. And then we got Gladiator Beast War Chariot. This is the one card in the archetype that is a counter trap that negates monster effects. Still really, really good. I mean, this was like the Omni Negate back in the day. You can search this out with your Test Panther. You can also bring it back from the grave with Acquisit. So it's definitely a great card to have. Next, and then finally, we have Solemn Warning. Again, a great card. Reason it's limited to one is because it's still really good. In a slow format like this, Solemn Warning can like end your opponent's turn really quickly. Now onto the extra deck, we got Gladiator Beast Geyserist. This basically allows you to destroy two cards your opponent controls. Still very good card. This card was crazy back in the day. It's still pretty good now. What's really good about it too is when you attack and like you end your battle phase, when you shove it back into the deck, you get to special summon two Gladiator Beast monster from your deck. So like if you just like are running with like a very back row heavy deck, you can Geyserist, hopefully get some good cards popped with your effect, and then when you run in through the battle phase, you get to special summon two more Gladiator Beasts, and you can start going it, like start like looping advantage and stuff like that. Only unfortunate thing is you can't special summon Bestiari with this, so like again with the back row heavy deck, you're only going to be popping two. You can't be doing more because Bestiari is not allowed to be special summoned off of this. But yeah, great card. Next we got Heraklinos. This card is basically an Omni Negate for spells and traps only. The only thing is you have a cost of pitching a card from your hand. Thankfully, it's any card, generic, discarding. But yeah, if you know your opponent's like running like a Dark Magician deck or any deck that relies a lot about spells and traps, this is when you special summon this card. It's pretty much only good for that, honestly. You really don't need to. You don't. It doesn't have that effect to like shuffle back into the deck and then special summon other Gladiator Beast monster. Because back in the day, this was like the end boss monster to go into. Now it's just like, all right, I need spells and trap negates. This is it. Next, we got Chimera Fortress Dragon. As I explained before, this is for Cyber Dragon. You would want to run this to break the Cyber Dark Dragon boards. I don't remember the archetype's name, but they basically build tower boards that are very hard to out, and the only way to really out them easily was with Cyber Dragon and this card. So yeah, that's that. This card I really have just to have something generic because it's just three Gladiator Beast monsters, so it's pretty decent with United. If like you need to just get like three random cards or three Gladiator specific cards from your graveyard back into your deck, you get special summon this. I wish it had a little more attack. It's not that great. It's just basically like Ancient Gears, where if it attacks, they can't activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. And then, unfortunately, you only special summon two off of this when you attack. I wish it was kind of three. This card's only decent. Occasional come up sometimes because I don't have the resources. Like this is something I would cut for like one of the other better Gladiator Beast fusion monsters, but if it's what you only have, I mean, still not bad. I mean, still special summoning two monsters is still good, and the generic requirement of three Gladiator Beast monsters. Next, we got Andabata. I'm probably butchering the shit out of that card's name, but yeah, the only reason I really have this too, because this card's not great. It's like heavily outshined or shadowed by Tamer, is because it just has Augustus's name in the requirements, which is great for fusion deployment. But yeah, its effects is really not that relevant. I mean, you special summon one level 7 or lower Gladiator Beast fusion monsters, which pretty much summon all the sucky ones, which I'm not even running at all. Yeah, so like, don't even worry about this card. Again, you only run this card because of fusion deployment. Next, we got Tamer. Now, Tamer is like the key card, what glues this like to make modern boards of like having good boards in a Gladiator Beast deck. So basically, it just requires 2 level 5 or higher Gladiator Beast monsters. And then once per turn, mind you, this is not a hard once per turn. You can special summon one Gladiator Beast fusion monster from your extra deck, ignoring its summon condition. And then it has like the generic, like at the end of the battle phase, special summon one Gladiator Beast monster from your deck. When it shuffles, which is okay. I mean, I get why they only did one because it'd be kind of broken if it did it two, because then you get two high level monsters and then you get to Gladiator Beast Tamer again. But Yeah, now this card's crazy. You always want to go for this. This is like part of your combo of going with your Test Panther into Augustus. Augustus special summoning another level 5 higher Gladiator Beast monster. You go into Tamer, and Tamer gets you any of your toolboxes for your Gladiator Beast Fusion monsters. And the last good Gladiator Beast Fusion monster is this one, the one that uses the Sea Serpent as the material. This is basically the best one in my opinion. 3500, which is really good. It has an Omni Negate for monster effects, no cost, so it already outshines the Heraclinos. And also, what's a nice effect, and I'm trying to read it right here. Uh, it's this line right here. You choose the attack targets for your opponent's monsters, which is really good because like that's always kind of the problem with Gladiator Beast. Is just like when your opponent attacks, like they're just like, okay, well clearly I'm not going to attack like something I can't get over. I don't want them to get their effects off, so they'll attack like something that you know they can get over that's really small or whatever. And this pretty much prevents that because you can make them attack this monster which already has high attack. So you get to activate its effect where you can shuffle one back into the extra deck and special summon one Gladiator Beast monster from your deck. So really good right there. Next we got Steel Swarm Roach. This is generic rank 4 that I have. There's probably better options. Honestly, I rarely go into these rank 4s right here because I have Silent Honor Arc. This can easily be replaced if you have something better in your toolbox. Next we got the Link 2 Gladiator Beast card. This is like very generic. I don't really go into this either. The only thing that's kind of useful about it is it can't be destroyed by battle. So if you need something to guarantee you to get into 2 other Gladiator Beast monster from your deck, is you go into this. If you have like 2 like Murmillo and like I don't know something that's like this card that has low attack, you go into this. Maybe you can get over something. You need the level 2. That's pretty much all you can use it for. Again, I don't go into this that much. Now the Test Panther, that's a really good Link 2 monster that the archetype has, because just on Link Summon you get to add 1 Gladiator Beast card, which is very important, because that's how the combo starts, is you would either go into your combat, which is again the monster reborn for the archetype, or you would go into get Augustus, whichever one of the 2 that you're missing, because that's pretty much what you need, such as like a level 5 monster from in your hand, or the special summon spell card to get the monster back onto your field. And then from there, and then its other effect is just basically the same as Test Tiger, which basically you shuffle 1 Gladiator Beast monster from your that you control, and then out into the tag in into the field, and then it's treated like it's special summoned from a Gladiator Beast monster effect. So yeah, that just puts full combo right there. Finally, we have Blackluster Soldier, the Link monster. This is only because we do have level 7 or higher monsters, so sometimes like if you need something to, like your opponent has Raigeki or something, you go into this using your high level fusion monsters or even your Augustus because that's level 8. And finally, we have the best GX card, Access Code Talker. This is just I don't know why this is in this event. It's limited too. It's not like people run multiple. It's really weird. But yeah, this basically you get to boost its attacks, destroy monsters. This is really like OTKing pretty much. I've used it once in this event because honestly, like the other Gladiator Beast cards do a good job of OTKing. So very occasionally this will come up as well. But yeah, that's it for the deck list, and I'll go on to the deck replays. Alright, so looking at our first replay, we're going to be playing against Plunder Patrol, which I'm not too familiar with this deck, but we'll just get right into that replay. Alright, so like I always said, we go second. They just played one of the Redbeards, and basically they probably had a bad hand. I'm not sure how Plunder Patrol combos off, but I just know this one, they usually play on your turn, so they react to that. And I kind of forgot about like what their extra deck was like, because I thought Fire would be good until I realized real quick that they can activate their Fire Synchro one, which can basically activate that, which is not a humongous deal. I mean, we still have the Sea Serpent monster, and they were able to special summon another monster, so we didn't have to sacrifice our Laquari. He summoned the Golden Hair, we were able to destroy that, and then we got to summon the Sea Serpent one. We activate Noxorus, that sends we send the Augustus to the graveyard just to have something in the graveyard. The Gladiator Beast monsters, we want to keep them like in the graveyard to have rotation to keep our resources up. We also have the Atarix. This is also allowing us to keep monsters in our graveyard. We send the Sea Serpent, then we go into the Tamer. Tamer special summons the Sea Serpent fusion monster, and then we have Gladiator War Chariot and Infinite Impermanence to help us protect us throughout the next turn because we weren't able to kill them that turn. So then I negate the Raven effect because I do know that's like one of the better Plunder Patrol monsters to help them combo off. So I negate that and I decide to go through 2 more interruptions. Right, so they try to use something special summon from their hand. I use the Gladiator Beast War Chariot for that. They're comboing off some more. I just know that much. They activate this. I know their Link monster is also very important, so I have the Infinite Impermanence for that. And they were still able to come off a little more by having some back row available. But I think this is all fine as long as we could survive with our Tamer still on field, because this is like the golden card to just keep on keeping our pressure going on for the opponent. So they have Call by the Grave, and then they had this that like replaces the attribute of one of your monsters. So they go for the dark one, which I was quite surprised because this one you needed to discard a Plunder Patrol monster, and the only way they were going to get that is if they drew off of Blackbeard. But I knew to save my fusion monster Omni Negate for monster effects for the Link monster, because I didn't want them to draw, so they drew, they would get that live. So yeah, I made sure to negate that. I go for Geyserus, and Geyserus is going to be able to pop both of these monsters effects. The Earth Synchro monster does something that allows them to have that, but I had the Gladiator Beast comeback, which allowed me to special summon a monster, and I was able to go for game right there. So this is the second replay I'm going to be showing you. This is for the Cyber Dark Dragons. They are they're pretty present in this format, I feel like, in this event. That's the reason why I played the Cyber Dragon, and you're going to see right here like how they build an unbreakable board, and I'm going to just let the replay play out right now. So the good thing about going second is even when you lose the coin toss, you most likely still go second. So this was great right here. The Cyber Dragon already in the hand. I saw they were playing the Cyber Dragon deck, and I was like, all right, perfect. So no matter what they build, I'm going to be able to go through it all. So again, another deck I'm not really too familiar. Like, I know regular Cyber Dragons, but the Cyber Dark archetype I'm not too familiar with how they like. I just know they always end on their towers. So we're gonna see quickly as we fast forward all of this play right here. Right, so we go into the Link monster. Power Bond. Again, I wasn't reading any of these cards. I have no idea how Power Bond was banishing all these cards to summon his fusion monster. But here we go. We have this is the Omni Negate one, and then this is the Tower ones, and then he goes with the Omni Negate. So he basically ends on this board, which seems pretty unbreakable if you really don't have the out. But again, this is where Cyber Dragon comes in clutch here. They have a back row as well. I was really hoping that wasn't like Solemn Warning, Solemn Judgment. But here we go. And just with that Cyber Dragon, I was able to get rid of three of his monsters. That one was a tower, one was an Omni Negate, and one was like a battle trap or battle trick type of monster, just to go into the Chimera Attack Fortress. They were able to search the core from the Hertz effect. Unfortunately, though, I wasn't able to kill them off. I really wish I had like a Test Tiger or something to like help combo off to like really go for game. And the thing was, I didn't want to go for Test Panther because technically I could have done that to go into game. But if that was an infinite impermanence right there, I definitely would have lost. And like that would have been really bad because Test Panther is like one of like the crutches or of like this deck, especially if it gets negated. So I just figured that would be good enough. I mean, I go for that. Leaving on 200 is still not bad. I get to summon, tag in Augustus, Nox, and then I had the Test Tamer, Gladiator Beast Tamer, and this is exactly why that was good that I did that, because Infinite Impermanence right there, which is not a big deal because I still have the War Chariot, and I was just like, okay, like, there's no way he's going to come back from this either because I'm going to Omni Negate his Cyber Dragon core. He gets a Cyber Dragon, and this is like, killed me. I'm like, of course he had the Raigeki. The Raigeki is exactly what he needed to out my board basically, because now my Gladiator Beast War Chariot won't activate because you need to control a Gladiator Beast monster. And yeah, he's gonna get the core here. Of course, he have a Monster Reborn archetype, and they get this dragon that allows him to boost up the damage, and he gets it exactly right here. So very unfortunate, but it's still a good showcase to show you why I run the Cyber Dragon. Because honestly, if I didn't have it, I was definitely losing like turn 1. But he only won because of that Raigeki, which is completely fine by me. It was still a good showcase. Now the final replay we're going to be showing here is the Neos deck. This is also pretty popular. I mean, the hero variants, like usually they have more Neos stuff in it. Sometimes they have just like more plain elemental hero stuff. It's completely, pretty frequent or common amongst this event for me at least. But yeah, we're just gonna get right into the replay. So going second again, I didn't have a great hand, honestly. I just had the Effect Veiler, but he didn't have too much to play. He just had the Prisma, just like us, but for the other reasons, probably to get the Neos. Because Neos, and funny enough, Neos and Gladiator Beast had like that same shuffling back into the deck, that contact fusion mechanic. So yeah, the Prisma is really good to just get those materials out into the graveyard so you can use them for future fusion plays. Uh, Thankfully, I drew another Gladiator Beast monster, and I drew specifically Augustus because comeback was really clutch with that, where I can special summon it from my hand. Attack, even though he had the Spirit Neos, it doesn't negate anything, so I was able to special summon the Sea Serpent one, and then able to attack with both, which will allow me to tag out, tag in for two Gladiator Beast monsters, which will allow me to go into Tamer. Tamer's going to get me into the Sea Serpent Fusion monster, and then Solemn Judgment. I'm feeling pretty good right here. Yeah, so then he goes for the effect. I just negate it. He special summons the Flame Wingman using that spell card. He's going to fusion summon into Wake Up Your Elemental Hero, which is kind of new. And then this kind of tripped me out. He had the Dark Panther, which is able to steal basically one of your opponent's monster effects. So he's going to be stealing my Omni Negate with my fusion cards. So my Effect Veil is pretty much dead here. I knew he had the Neos Fusion in hand because he searched it out before. So I Solemn Judgment that. So his turn is pretty much going to stop there, and then this effect came up where basically you get to choose the opponent's attack target. So I know he was probably going to go for the Tamer because Tamers allows you to get cheat out more fusion monsters, but I'm going to protect that using the fusion monster effects. So he's going to be destroyed. Fortunately, that still destroys me. I take that battle damage, which gets me pretty low, but it's not enough even when he has the Spirit Neos. But he gets another Neos fusion. He goes for Rainbow's Neos, and I really thought it was going to be done here, but he sends his Dark Panther, so my Effect Veiler goes live again. So I Effect Veiler that, negating Rainbow Neos' effect that was going to shuffle my monsters, and then it goes my turn, and I'm just able to special summon Geyserus. Geyserus is going to destroy both of them, but I had to keep in mind after that one that he has two Neos fusion, which basically protects their fusion monsters, specifically that has Neos as material, from battle or effect. So I had to make sure to get rid of them twice. So knowing that, I test Panther, I get a Gladiator Beast monster, normal summoning. I go for Murmillo here. Murmillo is going to get rid of the last Neos Fusion protection. Even though it's 4,500, which is bigger than all the Gladiator Beast monsters, I had that one last Ace card, which is going to pop up right here because Tamer goes for whatever fusion monster I needed, and I get Access Code Talker, and that was going to be just enough because it's going to destroy and be big enough to go for game. So yeah, that's pretty much it for all my replays. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.